Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Bismillah wa salatu wa salamu ala Rasulillah. This is a continuation from the previous recording that we done regarding the spiritual sanitizer. So last time we mentioned regarding some of the words of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and how we can use that spiritually to try and defend against all the diseases coming towards the heart. So it's a reminder for us regarding the diseases that are out there at the moment and the diseases of the heart as well. So the second reminder is that we know that words are powerful. Words are extremely powerful. An example of this is that if you see a person in front of you and you were to say vulgar words at this person, you were to say words which will hurt this person, you will say something which will maybe attack his family, attack him, attack his religion, attack his something, and you're attacking him. What happens to that person when listening to these words? His heart might pound quicker. His blood starts to boil more. He starts to get heated. He even might lash out. He even might hurt you, punch you, kick you, whatever. Why? Because the words that you are saying has an effect on this person. In the same way, you might find that a person who is more depressed, he's more sad, and you find him, and you go talk to him, and you console him, you give him words of encouragement, words of something which is to make him out or come out of this depression, and help him. So you're saying these words, and maybe you're giving him some fada'il, some of these encouragements of doing certain actions, and now what happens? This person feels much more calm, he feels much more happier. Why? Because words has an effect on that person. So we know that words can be very, very powerful and has an effect on the people. But these are words coming from humans. Imagine the words of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Imagine the power inside of these words. I'm going to take you to a story, and this story is a very famous story of Yunus alayhi salam. So Yunus alayhi salam, his qawm, his nation, has got a very unique status. If we find in the Quran, many previous nations have come, a messenger is sent to the nation, warning them and so forth, giving them da'wah, calling them towards Allah. Some of them believe, some of them disbelieve. Then usually the punishment will come down and then the nation is destroyed. In this case, Yunus alayhi salam, when he was giving them da'wah, the punishment was supposed to come down. So the people realized that Yunus alayhi salam has now gone. The punishment is about to come. They returned back towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and asked for his forgiveness. So when Nabi Yunus alayhi salam, he is taken into the belly of the whale. So he's gone deep inside of the waters. Even if he has escaped the belly of the whale, he would have to overcome the challenge of being stranded in the middle of the ocean and trying getting away and out of that situation. So he was taken into a jail with which there was no exit. This is basically self-isolation. He's in the bottom of the ocean, the stomach of the whale. It's complete darkness upon darkness upon darkness. Where is the way out? It looks like there's no way out. Yet at this time, the tasbih and the dhikr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is being heard. In darkness, in self-isolation, you hear the dhikr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You hear the tasbih of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. In our situation, when we're also in a certain form of self-isolation, how much tasbihat are we doing? Can Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala hear our adhkar, our dhikrs, our tasbih? What kind of state are we in? So this is why it's very important for us that sometimes when we look at dying in itself, dying from the disease is one thing. But if our deen, if our religion, if our hearts, if our Islam dies, then that's worse. So the words coming from the mouth of Yunus alayhi salam, he says, La ilaha illa anta subhanak إِنِّي كُنْتُ مِنَ الظَّالِمِينَ. And he mentioned this again and again and again. And this also comes in the Quran. So through this zikr, Allah made him come out of the darkness, out of the belly of the whale, and now back onto the shore, out of the water as well, and on his way back to his nation, giving da'wah and so forth. So this is a unique status given to the nation of Yunus alayhi salam, because they begged for forgiveness and Allah accepted their forgiveness and the punishment was averted. So the zikr which was being read by Yunus alayhi salam had an effect on his nation. Has an effect on his nation. If you look at the translation of the dhikr that has been mentioned from Yunus alayhi salam, he says, there is none but you, yani Allah. You are pure and I am the oppressor. I am from amongst the oppressors. Yani, he's talking about Allah being the highest, Allah being the most pure, and I am the worst of the worst. So this is a dua which is mentioned in the Quran in Surah Anbiya. So read this in abundance. In abundance, after the salah, while walking, waking up, different times you can read this again and again and again. And this could possibly avert a punishment in our area as well. So again, this is something that we should try and do. Again, this is another spiritual sanitizer for working on the darkness of our hearts. وآخر دعوانا أن الحمد لله رب العالمين.